Here we are, first episode of Chit Chat with Spillsy. I guess the purpose of this one is, well, how often do you check your Supercoach side and you go far out? It's just not me week. Well, that's what I'm here for. I just guess this is a little bit of something different, a bit of a distraction from Supercoach, and more just the general AFL chit chat, and that's what I'm going to try and bring to the table. I will do a little bit of Supercoach as we go, and a few questions and hotlines will be about Supercoach. So we'll dabble in as we go. But obviously didn't do it last week. I didn't watch too much footy last week, so I didn't really have much data to work off. But we're gonna have a bit of a crack at it. Any ideas? Let me know. We're just gonna roll with it. But I'll just be reviewing games briefly over the round and talk about major topics and do a hotline and just a bit of general AFL chit chat. Feel a bit rusty today. Went out last night with the boys. We had my first hit out anyway, with practice match. And I've got to give a shout out to the team we played, Balranald. Now, this team, they're located about 3.5 hours away from where we are. So they travelled all the way down. They barely had a side. And, I come on sort of in the second half and the game got called off because they just didn't have the numbers and they were cooked. And the plan was to play 6 quarters of footy. So I only really had a run for about a quarter, but it was, still nonetheless good to be involved and get out there. And kudos for them for coming down and having a hit out. And, last night was good. The boys had our season launch, so the club rooms and a few went out. Good vibes, good atmosphere, good people to surround myself with. So it was definitely a decent hit out. I come back into the rooms after the game and I checked the Essendon Adelaide scores and I just can't believe what I'm seeing from the Dons. And we get stuck into them very shortly. But I guess we'll talk about the first game of the round, which was Carlton and Hawk. And I think Hawk are the real deal. They don't give a shit. They go out and they play with the most freedom. They get stuck into it. They celebrate. They're electric. I don't think Carlton are that bad either. I think, their pressure rating was above 190 for the most part. But, Hawk was like 210. It was just elite, pushing 220. Highest pressure rating you'll ever see. And, they just bought the energy. So, Janath would be a bit flat. I think he sent me a hotline DM, so we'll go over that one and see what his thoughts are on the game. But it was a big choke at the start of the season for Carlton. They're 0-2, so are the Bombers. I don't know which side you'd rather be. I feel like Carlton put up a little bit more of a fight than the Bombers do. But they get the prime time, and with prime time comes Matt Hill, and I'm loving Matt Hill commentary. I'm with DDF on this one. I like when they find Camp Rally and then Matt Hill goes Canberra. He says the full flow and he just pronounces it unreal. So, we love Matt Hill Thursdays on here. And I think Carlton are getting a fair share of Thursday night footy. I think they play, can't remember who they play next week, but I think it is another Thursday night game if I'm not mistaken. So definitely getting treated with prime time. So, that was a pretty good game to come watch from footy training. Definitely exciting. Good to see Hawk just absolutely smash it though. They're on fire. They're going to be hard to beat this year. The Friday night game was good too. It wasn't the highest scoring game. It was only 70-76, but another game where the pressure from both sides was just through the roof. And that was great to watch. Like Rory Lobb, he played like an All-Australian defender and he does not care what anyone thinks of him. He rolls out. He's dyed his hair blue for the Footscray 100 years in the competition, really showing what he's made of there. And gave one to Mason Cox. The Pies fans, they booed him all night and he just kept taking intercepts and rebounding. He was unreal. Sam Darcy, a massive star. I think Sam Darcy, he's got some real estate in Collingwood's head, I reckon. Every time he plays him, he just carves them to shreds. So he's a star of the future. He had like Pendles and Sidebottom breaking the all-time record for, I think, teammates played with each other. So that's a kudos in itself. So it was a good night for it. But you can't go past the pre-game entertainment from Bob Murphy sitting in the chair with all the Bulldog greats around him and just going over their history. So it was a special night for both sides. But Collingwood just showed their class and they were too good. So and you see Liberatore, and that sort of frustrates me a little bit. So if you have followed this channel for the last year, you would know that I started Libba last season as a pod. He started terribly, and then I trained him out, hit a bit of form, but then he got injured. So in the long run, it did work out. But where was his form last year when I needed him? I mean, without the Bont, he's come in as captain, and he's just shown the best of leadership. He sets the tone. Matt kicked a massive goal there, just contested posies all over the shop. He's a star. He's right up there as one of the Bulldog greats. So yeah, that was a good night for footy, and I'll just touch on the Essendon Adelaide game. That was a shambles. What are the Bombers doing? They are so bad. I mean, we just let Adelaide kick the shit out of us, who arguably people thought they would be a bottom four team. And gee, it's clicked for them. I mean, they had so many stars that just stood out and got the job done. Like Rankin was so good that they thought, mate, you've earned a bit of a rest. We'll wrap you in cotton wool. He was subbed out tactically. But Dawson, Keys, Crouch, like they all cut us to shreds. And then you got Rochelle, Phil Thorpe, all these guys kicking bags. Like, what are we doing? And Ben Mackay, he is the most overrated player financially I've ever seen. What are we paying him? I think it's like 1.2 mil a year for absolute peanuts. He's shocking. He doesn't do anything. But it's okay, though, because we got Sam Draper down forward, really setting the tone there. The infamous snap from 45 metres out. He holds the ball about head height. Crowd get up for that. That was the only thing for the Dons fans to get up for yesterday. It was an absolute pub stomp. From the Crom, who have started really, really well, and it's a game I'm very happy to forget, but you got to stick fat with them, and I'm just going to do that. So, yeah, it is what it is. I hope they can bounce back and find some kind of form, but they look everything like a bottom four team, it's fair to say. And speaking of bottom four teams, we have Port Adelaide and Richmond, who also got stomped. It was the Connor Rosé show. So let's talk a bit Supercoach here. I did bring in Connor Rosé instead of Bailey Smith. So the plan was to bring in Baz and bank 200K from Perryman, which was a great win. But obviously, I'm not picking a bloke who's not playing. So I had 595K to go shopping for a mid forward. And yeah, it was going to be Holmes originally, just because of that defense mid DPP. But I landed on Rosie. I was hot on him all preseason, and yeah, he starred. So yeah, that was the main standout. That's why I watched most of the game. But other than that, it was a bit of a nothing game. Richmond, a few nice promising signs, but yeah, all in all, Port Adelaide just way too good. If you have SPP, he bounced back, he responded, so that was good for those who held. And Jason Horne-Francis, wow, hey, he's got some issues, hasn't he? He was rattled early. They played him forward, barely got any CBAs. Rioli was right in amongst it, and yeah, the horny man just wasn't horny on the night. He just could not get it done. So very disappointing. I'm actually tempted to trade him. I mean, Baz's named this week. Maybe we trade down, bit of value, and then because I don't think Horne-Francis is going to really make you pay like anti-podding him. He's got a high ceiling, but yeah, hasn't really shown it yet, and he's going to be coming into a pretty high break even. So yeah, looking forward to potentially palming him off. We'll see what happens. A very aggressive approach, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll definitely talk about that on the podcast next Tuesday night. But other than that, it was a bit of a nothing game as far as Supercoach is concerned, and the general AFL spectator wouldn't be too wrapped with that. And Saturday night, game I didn't really see too much. It was the Hugo Garcia sub game, and St Kilda got the job done against Geelong. And my boy Shorty, he ain't happy with this result, and that's a great segue into, well, we're going to be doing a hotline. So if you have any thoughts around your sides just pulled out an absolute stinker, your Supercoach team's going shit, feel free. It's open, it's a therapy session almost. Feel free to vent your thoughts and your take on the game. And I think, yeah, Shorty's done that. I think he needs to. He's actually, not only is he going through it with his Geelong boys, but also Supercoach as well. So I've got a couple on the hotline for Shorty, and yeah, we'll get stuck straight into it. So this is what the great man's got for us.
What's going on, mate? Shorty here. Pretty filthy about the Cats last night, mate. I don't often go to the away games, but Dad was like, no, let's go up. I was like, yeah, it's a good idea. Haven't been to Marvel for a while. We thought we'd catch the train. I'll tell you what, you really want to get the W if you're catching the train. I was sick of hearing, when the Saints, all the way home on the train. Plus, I got literally got my Supercoach side multiple times on the train ride home. But yeah, what are your thoughts there, mate? A couple of my takeaways. Dangerfield up forward, not going to work. Sam De Koning, love him against your B grade type of ruckman.
Fraud.
He got monstered against Marshall, but
I
do love the Cats. They always fight back. You've got to admire that. They always do. But cheers, mate.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate there, Shorty, for your Cats. They didn't get the job done. But he could be an Essendon supporter, mate. I mean, I can't pity Geelong ever. They've had the best amount of sustained success I've ever seen. Them and Sydney for sure. I mean, they've won a lot of flags. I mean, I think they won 4 premierships in the last 20 or so years. They make finals every year. They've only missed finals. Yeah, I reckon they've only missed finals twice since 2006. And that would have been 2015. I don't think they made it. And then maybe it would have been, I genuinely can't remember. But they've just been on a tear for so long. So, yeah, Shorty, mate, they will come good. No doubt about it. But it is tough losing to the Saints. And I've got a little bit of a hot take here. So, being a Dons, man, you'd think that the clubs that hate us the most would be, Carlton, Collingwood, Richmond, all these ones. I think we all sort of hate each other mutually. But I reckon St Kilda fans hate us more than any other team in the comp. I don't know why. Maybe we pack out Marvel a bit more than they do. I don't know if we got the jump on them. Are they salty about Jay Gresham? But even before then, I think they've always just had the moz on us. They've never really been a huge fan of us. So, yeah, St Kilda supporters have always been the first, them and Carlton particularly, the first supporters to let you know about it after a loss. So, yeah, I know what you're going through there, Shorty. Yeah, absolute carnage, mate. It's pretty stiff when you've got to get the train back down the freeway to Geelong after a loss. So, yeah, I can relate to you. If it gets worse, Geelong's only an hour away from the big smoke where, mate, live in Bendigo. Bendigo, you're 2 hours away, and that's a long derby train ride home, especially when your team gets spanked. So, yeah, I'm with you, mate. And he's got another one for me, all in terms of Supercoach. So, I know he has Will Day, one that I was never keen on. Will Day, he's obviously pumped out a huge score round 0, 4 goals, I think all from free kicks. So not a real sustainable brand of scoring. Inevitably had the Bedford tag, which is coming next week, I'm pretty sure. And he's also got a buy. So, yeah, Day was an awkwardly priced one that I just wasn't really keen on. Did say on SEN as well that he was going to spend a whole heap of time forward. So, and he's in 40% of teams. So I think maybe Shorty gets stuck into him. But, yeah, we'll see what he's going through.
Spills, we're back. Let's talk Supercoach, my guy. I'm feeling like this might be the most frustrating start to a year I've ever had. I don't know. You know the saying, everything you touch turns to gold? Well, whatever the opposite to that saying is exactly what I'm doing right now. But Perryman, stinker. Sanders, stinker. Flynn dropped after being in the main, starting 22 on Thursday night. Finlayson dropped. Then I'm just trying to enjoy the Saints game, and Hugo Garcia going to be sub.
Yep.
Here I am panicking at Marvel, trying to find a replacement for him. But, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. How's your Supercoach side going, mate? I tell you what, I'm a bit disenchanted. I'm going to have to just reset, use some serious trades to get us back, I think.
Yeah, not a good start there, mate. That's very unfortunate. I've got away with murder here. I've evaded a lot of the carnage. I'll have a look at the highly owned players that aren't in my team at the moment. So we'll go coach's choice. So I've got every single player in the top 19 most highly owned players except one. And that one is Bailey Smith, who was obviously in my trade plans, but I was never going there. He's not playing, so what's the point of that? So I avoided that. He's in 66% of sides, and he's not even playing, calf strain. So, yeah, avoided that. You got 20th most popular Leak. He's not in my team. Dead Rook. And then 22nd, you got Day, who I just discussed. I missed him. Patton underneath. He's a dead rookie. And then there's Dacos, who's been pretty solid, but obviously, yeah, tagged for it, got a buy. So he was one that I was happy to sort of see how he went. Sam Lawlaw, so he's been playing really good footy, but just not scoring. I mean, against Carlton round 1, I thought he was stiff not to ton up and barely just got 70. So Yeah, he had a howler against Port Adelaide. It was a tough day at the office. And he got Holmes underneath that, who was solid, but for a 91, I was nearly going to bring him in. And SDK, who I knew it. I knew this was bait. I could see it coming from a mile away, 70 Supercoach or something like that. The roles all over the place. You can't trust. You just can't trust Chris Scott. You really can't. I mean, he's a great coach. You respect him. He throws the magnets. He's so aggressive. And you go down to Sarong, who is yet to play but didn't start too well. Flynn, we just traded out. James Short and Riley Sanders, Harry Perryman. These are all really highly owned players that I do not have. So even Will Ashcroft there, he had a stinker today as well. So, yeah, very unfortunate for many, but I don't know how. I've just avoided a lot of carnage and, yeah, luck's gone my way. So, yeah, look, anything can happen, mate. We're looking okay, but, yeah, I do feel for you. Very unfortunate. We do have another hotline here, and we've got Pat here who has DM'd his thoughts. He'd like to open up a little bit about the Dons, and I think he's really feeling the fire here at the club.
That club are a fucking disgrace.
Yep.
We just lost to Adelaide 2 goals. And those
really bad. Yep. Terrible. Yeah, absolute shambles at the Dons. They have culture issues. We've got a lot of highly talented draft picks that could be anything, but we just can't click. It's a very good-looking team, but defensively, they are just shambolic. They are the easiest team to score against in the AFL. If you let's say it's round 24 and you're playing Supercoach finals, and you need to bring in someone that's just a little bit of a point of difference that's going to get the job done. Bring in a key forward or a small forward against us, and I guarantee you they're going to kick a bag because that's how much we bloody bleed points. It's so frustrating to watch as a supporter, but I guess over the years you do get used to it because, yeah, it's just an ongoing issue that we've always had. All right, so my boy Janath's got a hotline as well. So keen to hear his thoughts. I'm pretty sure he's here to speak about the Scott brothers.
G'day, legends. I would like to have a go at the Scott brothers for being not very Supercoach conducive. Firstly, we'll start off with good old Chris down the highway at Geelong. How do you name Bailey Smith knowing he has a calf injury?
What's he doing?
And then basically let that go for a day and then release it on midnight.
Yep.
On Friday night. Ruins the trade plans for many. I know a lot of us have already traded out Harry Perryman, so there's got to be a pivot in here somewhere. And then, not his fault, Tommy Stewart gets injured. Means Sam DeConning's probably going to play a little bit more back. Ray Stanley may come in. So just a lot going down there at Geelong. And then at Essendon, mate, like, where do we begin? Elijah Sardis, points per minute magnet. Now, he may not have the tank, but come on. He's got to be better than, 63% time on ground, 14 contested possessions, 11 clearances. I reckon if he played a little bit more in that middle there, you boys wouldn't be getting smashed by 10 goals every week. So let's see if
it's looking that way.
Can be a little bit more Supercoach conducive here in the coming weeks. See you later.
No, I'm with you. We're very, they're just very easy to score against. It's pretty terrible. We're definitely going to concede the most out of any team in the comp, and I'm pretty sure. I think we will have more goals kicked against us than Richmond will. Yeah, it's very conducive. He sums up to a T, and yeah, Scott brothers, they just do weird things in the coaching. And while we're talking about that, Brad Scott, talk about culture issues. I think of 2023 Collingwood, Craig McRae, allowing everyone to be themselves and do whatever they want. Sam Mitchell at Hawkball. I mean, last year or so to now, they literally, they don't care. They don't give a shit. They just play out there. They have that much aura. They let everyone know about it. They celebrate every goal. And what do we do at the Dons? We're such a serious football team. I've never seen Brad Scott smile in my life. Has he ever smiled? It's just such a, it's just, I think the culture issues are bloody absurd. So, you know, I'm with Janath in a sense there. He always sums it up very, very nicely. So, yeah, no, that's a hotline. I don't think I've got any more. A couple of other games that I haven't really touched on. The Sunday game. So, DR's Lions, they got scared. They were, I think it was 8-32 at some point. They had quarter time. They were getting spanked. And then, they showed their class. So, they got the job done by 19 points. Captain Chalky Neal. So, Zorko was really good for me as well. So all the big guns just got it done, and they had the last laugh. So at the moment, we got North and Melbourne. That's actually a good game. North are up by 12 points at the moment, and it is half time. So high scoring game here at Marvel Stadium. Real standouts here. Chandler's having a good one. Powell, Daniel, Oliver, Sheasel. That's what we love to see. LDU and Petrarca for those who own him as well. I know Cherry's having a ripper. So that's a game to sort of watch. And then the last game we got is what's the infamous graveyard shift, isn't it? It's always one of the WA teams over there in Perth. But yeah, we don't mind a bit of Adam Papalia commentary. He's another one I definitely get behind. But yeah, we got Fremantle and Sydney at Optus Stadium. So that'll be an interesting one to see where they decide to go. Does Jordan go to Sarong, Brayshaw? Does he go tag my boy Jordan Clark? So I really hope that they don't do that for my sake. But yeah, that's basically all the general AFL discussion at this point in time. And yeah, might do this as well in the video. But at the end of it, I know it's just general AFL, but maybe you have a look at the Supercoach in terms of how we're going so far. So I'll share the screen here with how we're going, just to get a little bit of a look at where we're at. So yeah, she's on 43. Zorko was fantastic. Pryor and Reed are problems. So yeah, this is why I wanted a Max Holmes. This is what really sort of was let me down, because Holmes didn't really set the world on fire, but structurally would have been perfect. Like, trainer wasn't very good. Neil 133 was a good C. Did slow down a lot in the fourth quarter, but yeah, definitely got over the line. You're taking that every day of the week. Rozier 130 on debut, beautiful. Clary 66 at halftime. Wouldn't ask for anything more or less. He's just a gun. Super value with that pick, very highly owned, so we love that. And Cherry's been a really nice pod for me as well. Back-to-back 108 pluses, so that's been good. Callahan's the man for Sardis. We're banking that. Foss, slow start, working himself into the game, which is great. Never probably won't get his score. And then we'll have a look at the rest of the side. So Cherry dominating, look on track for 140. He's a gun. I mean, I wasn't even going to think about captaining him against Gawn. I mean, you can forget about it, but turns out any matchup's a good matchup. So yeah, it's times like this where I'm really grateful I didn't start Flynn at R2, because he was dropped and a lot of sides have just absolutely copped it. So I'm very grateful to have Cherry and TDK there. I think he'd be doing a lot worse. And I think Nank shit the bed as well. I did see an Abs video. He's spewing. He can't calm it down. He's got Day. He's got Nank. And yeah, it's I know the great man will bounce back very quickly, but super frustrating when that sort of stuff happens. But yeah, TDK not taking that VC. And the Horny man just wasn't on, was he? Just, very unfortunate game. We discussed him and Rankin, and I can't believe I haven't spoke about this. Got carried away at the hotline. But Jack McRae is back, baby. He is back. 162. A viable VC option now. Round 3, I think he's got a pretty easy matchup. I can't remember what it was. I just remember it being easy. Yeah, piss easy. He's got Richmond. Chuck the VC on that. I'm going to VC him, no doubt about it. Yeah, he's very viable. I don't see why not. He's unreal. Forget what Kane Corn said about him being too old, too slow. He's too bloody good in there. He's 35 disposals, in and under, 83% disposal efficiency. That's what St Kilda needs. So I know what he's talking about. So yeah, it's so good to own him again. He's back. Daniel's looking good, on track for 100. Kako we won't get, and Davidson came on for Stones. So that's a little bit of an idea of where we're at. And then you got Levi Flex, who was serviceable. We can't fault him there. And have a quick look at the game day. Have a look at the leagues that we're in. So is this all right? We're doing a bit of chit chat, AFL stuff, and then may as well do a bit of a mid-round review as well. So a few matchups here. Obviously, I think we're leading a few leagues, which is great. So again, looking good against Dean. You got open, Swordplay open, a lot of open leagues here. Let me scroll down. No, what are we doing? Here we go. Okay. Podmasters overall. It's looking okay. Podmasters group. A lot of groups. Spillsy's Premier. We've got Mitchell. That's going to be a close game. Keen to see how that one pans out. We've won against Steve. Another really close matchup. Undoubtedly, we're playing Oliver in Div 2. That's looking good. Ryan in Fantasy Take TV Speaker English, and that one's look good matchups. We're looking good this week. Another Ryan. He looks like that'll be another good finish. We'll see what happens there. I am playing DR as well, so I want to have a look at this just real quick and see what different matchups. I think we're a pretty similar team. He corrected some trades last week, and now our side's looking more and more similar as we go. So yeah, Rosie over Brayshaw, that's the difference there, and then you got Clark and Short. And then I think I've got the loophole setup going on. So, yeah, no, see how we go. That'll be so close. Ultimate bragging rights, whoever can get the job done there. But, yeah, I probably won't. I've been rambling on for a bit now, so I'll probably just wrap this one up. So, yeah, let me know what you reckon of the potty. And keen to hear your thoughts. Any ideas that you want me to showcase on this show or whatever? I'm really keen to hear them. Feel free to. I want to do a Q&A, but I tried doing one this morning, but not many really got around it. So, yeah, just had the hotline for now. So if you have any thoughts and takes on the round so far, yeah, drop them in, and yeah, I'll react to them and see how we go. So yeah, I'm going to go watch the rest of the footy. Keen to dabble into that, and yeah, we'll see you in the Tuesday night podcast with the boys, and then also this time next week for another chit chat with Spillsy. Take it easy, everyone. As always, we'll see you guys in the next video.